go live. Here we go. Welcome, everybody. This is Dr. J Real Talk with an opinion on an article here on why. So this article really caught my attention. Of half of college grads are working jobs that don't use their degree. I'm not going to go fully on details about this article. I think you can read it for yourself in the Wall Street Journal. It really caught my attention. It was a big topic of discussion on LinkedIn as well last week. And, thinking about my past with this article about why, basically a lot of times this has been going on for a number of years. I don't think this is something new that has been going on. I think it's talked more about now is because now we're starting to see the rise of college prices, college tuition, which has gone astronomical. Even during my time when I graduated college till now, has gone up significantly, right? So you have the price of tuition. You have a significant amount of students leaving with a huge pile of college debt, whether they graduate or not. They have this huge pile of college debt that most cannot pay back because they're stuck in jobs that don't make enough to pay back the loans. So you see the job market is not that great. You typically, back in the day, a student would graduate from college and then they get a good steady paying job, and typically in the field that they're in, and go up the rankings. That's not happening anymore. And so now we're starting to bring the limelights into what is going on. About, I think, more than half of college grads are working jobs that they get their degree in. And it can be a number of reasons. And I'll go into that and potentially figure out some solutions for that. So that's I want to give my opinion on this. And let me go back into why I think this has been going on for a while. Many years ago, when I was an undergrad, when I was looking into colleges, what colleges to go, and I was doing like campus visits as a high school senior. I remember going to the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point up there in Wisconsin, and I was sitting there listening to the recruiter, and I remember there was a lady with her son. I think it was a son or daughter, but I remember the lady specifically. She was sitting right next to me, and she's saying, "Yeah, I got my degree in," I forgot what that she got her degree in, but I didn't even use it. And the recruiter's like, "Yeah, we hear that a lot from graduates, or they don't use their degree." Well, I don't know what the lady's career was, but I've heard that conversation that a lot of times people would not even use their degree that they earn. And so, that got me thinking, like, well, I better get into a job that I will have my degree in. And so I was thinking, okay, that has been going on for a while. This is not nothing new. And I think the problem is that students are being pushed into college. They have no idea what they want to do. And then once they get into college, they go into degree programs that a lot of jobs there's not many jobs in it for them, right? Or they're not high paying jobs. And somewhere along the lines, college students are being lost and not getting enough necessary help or seeking the resources to make sure that the degree and their goals are aligned together and helping them seek the career that they're going for afterwards. Again, I think the article with the choice of major, the internships, to gain the right job is definitely critical, right? For me, for example, my undergrad is political science, so I had this I'm a political science major. Either I'm going to go get a job working for a campaign or working for some politician or working in government, because that's what typically the trajectory of a political science major, or going to law school. I did think about law school. I did take an internship when I was an undergrad, and so my trajectory was on the right path. And I took advantage of the career services office on campus. And I believe that a lot of times students do not take advantage of that. So let's go back, and I think let's go back to the start. The reason why I was able to do a good trajectory of choosing a right major from what I thought was a good major, doing an internship, and seeking a first job right after college was because I built out a plan for myself. And a lot of times college students don't develop a plan. They get into it. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll figure it out later. And then they graduate and they end up in the same job that they had working in college, right? There's an added joke, and I think it's very serious, right? You graduate from college being still stuck in the same job you had working in college, right? Like a lot of college graduates, there's no knock on them. You know, they worked as a barista in college and they still end up being a barista after college. Now, if you have intentions of opening up your own coffee shop, that's different. But if that's not your intention, then you kind of wasted the time. And so here's my opinion, and here's where perhaps there can be some help to alleviate this, like to help students or people working with college students and alleviate the stress of, you know, having them graduate with something they're not even going to use. And heaven forbid they got into this huge debt on a degree that they're not even going to use. So let's go back. The first thing is that college students need to establish a plan at the very beginning. What do I want to major in? When do I need to get an internship or some type of work that's going to help me land a job right after college that I studied for? So I built out a plan, right? So I did this college success manual, which I created this college success manual, which is available if you go on YouTube, you type in college success manual, you'll be able to find it. I created a plan for myself, and in there I also established what am I going to do in the meantime in terms of internship and things that's going to help me, you know, graduate faster or graduate on time and potentially land something right after college. And so building out the plan is definitely important. I also took advantage of an internship opportunity, and I think a lot of times college students either cannot take advantage of the internship opportunity or are not aware of the internship opportunity, or they're not paying. Unpaid internships should be done away with, and I hope they are done away with. I know they're still around, and I think there's stipulations depending on the state. I was very fortunate enough to have a paid internship in the summer, which landed me in an internship of where my major in political science. I was interning for a state senator in the city of Chicago, which got me a glimpse as to what politics was, and, you know, where do I want to continue on this trajectory, on this path, or move somewhere else. And so I think it's very important to build out a plan. I think it's very important to get access to that internship. And how you do that, how you land the internship, you have to make those connections. And I think another important part that college students have to recognize is the power of networking. I heard that word networking when I first got into college, when my first year as a freshman. And so you really do have to build into that network. The moment you step onto college campus, you have to network. You have to get off the gate and network. Of course, the networking opportunities for you your first year are not going to be the same until after you graduate, but you have to network within campus. You have to go seek a job within campus. And then, of course, network and talk to people within campus to see what opportunities are available for you. And that's the thing you have to do. And so establish a plan, what you want to do, right? That first year is extremely critical for college students. I cannot if you do not get yourself right your first year in college, it's going to be very hard to catch up later on. And I'm only speaking from my experience. I cannot speak for everybody's experience. The first year is critical, establishing a plan. What do I want to do? What's the end goal? What do I want to go from here the next 4 or 5 years, right? And between not only classes, you have to figure out, how do I get an internship or work in the area that I intend to work with after college? It's not easy, but it is doable. So establish that plan, start networking within college. And the other part is you have to take advantage of the career services office. I had experiences with 2 different career services offices, one in my undergrad at Northeastern Illinois University. I was the one who initiated the contact. I went to the office. I took advantage of that office. You know, I got my resume reviewed like more than 2 or 3 times. I did a practice interview, which was a tremendous help. And I said, like, what's available? Like, what opportunities are for me for once I graduate? And so definitely take advantage of that. At Oklahoma State University, when I was a grad student, like their career service offices was like, I mean, no knock on Northeast Illinois University, but it was just like, I mean, it was just a whole different level. I mean, of course, they have a lot more money, and they had a career fair, which was like Jesus, like I mean, it was like humongous, an opportunity there for you. So, going back to the opinions of how to help college students potentially land a job of what they studied in, or what they got their degree in. Establish a plan, network, fit in an internship, more than likely a paid internship. um, and then of course, find that job and network. Usually through an internship, you'll more than likely hopefully be able to land a job that you intend to. And it's very critical. And I will say this: there's going to have to be some type of sacrifice that you're going to have to give to hopefully land in the job that you studied for. What I mean by that, so for me, for example, I sacrificed because I was full-time student, because I wanted to do this, because I did an internship. I couldn't go work full time, like a full time job. And I mean by like 40 plus hours a week, getting a job that like I'm a W-2 employee. That's what I mean by full time job. So I had to sacrifice that full time opportunity that I could probably go work at UPS or some FedEx or some other job was gonna give me good money at that time. But I had to make the sacrifice in order to study, do the internship, and establish a plan to where I wanted to go afterwards. And so that's what I had to do. And hopefully this kind of material and this insight will help current college students or people working with current college students. What do we need to do so make sure you don't fall into the hole of spending all this money on a college degree that you're not even going to use, and now you have to pay back all this debt on a degree that you're not even utilizing at all, and of course helping them land a job that's going to build eventual good money for them. And I will say one last thing too as well for undergrads. If you do not land a job that you perceive want, or you intended to get, you don't get, do not, do not, do not go to grad school. Do not go to grad school with the intent, well, I couldn't find a job that I wanted, or I don't know what to do with my life, so I'm just going to go to grad school and figure out there. First of all, do not do that. Because now you have, especially if you have undergrad debt, student loan debt, now you're going to add another pile of grad school debt, which can be even more significantly more than your undergrad. And you may end up in a graduate program that is like not even for you. And most times people leave that, and of course now they're stuck with all this pile of debt. So do not, under any circumstances, once you graduate from college, under no circumstances should you go to grad school with the intent of going to grad school because you don't know what to do after graduate from college. You're better off going to get a job that you may not like at first and building some money and paying back off your student loan debt or paying off whatever debts, than going into grad school and living on measly, grad student pay. And then of course getting a job. So do not do that. So hopefully this will, whoever, people listening to this, people watching this, being able to help out students, or if you're an undergrad watching this, take this opportunity to learn from it, establish a plan, network within campus, get that internship, a paid internship, the best. The paid internship, don't expect it to be like high paying job. But you're going to have to make that sacrifice at the very beginning with the intent of hopefully landing you with an opportunity after college. Again, the internship is meant to network as well, with the intent of maybe potentially working with that company that's giving you the internship or organization. If not, opening doors to somewhere else that you can land on after you graduate from college. And that's what you want, and to add on to your resume as well. And so hopefully that will definitely help out. But I will say this: if you are a senior or in college right now, and the prospects of you landing a job don't look too grim for you that you want, do not go to grad school because you don't know what to do with your life, right? Unless you know that you want to be an attorney and go to law school, or unless you want to go to medical school and that's for sure your thing, that's a totally different conversation. But if you don't have those intents, do not go to grad school because you don't know what to do with your life. You're better off just going to get a job and building from there. And so hopefully that alleviates that and talks and helps you know that. So thank you all for joining me on this conversation. I'll look out definitely for the next conversation with you guys, and make sure you check me out, jphd18.com, and definitely make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow here as well at Dr. J Real Talk, and we'll talk next time.